Hi, it's Susan, and this is your love notes for November. It's already November 16th, and so I'm quite a bit behind with this month's newsletter, but give me a minute and I'll explain all that and why. Over the course of a couple of months, I had been working with a business coach, and I finally completed our time together, and I learned so much that I'm still trying to work out everything for my business and how I'm going to go forward. But I want to focus on space a little bit for a minute in this newsletter because I feel like we do a lot of stuff to get our businesses going or anything. We create a lot of momentum, and I think taking space is important to kind of go, wow, look how much I learned, and whoa, this is huge, and prepare yourself for the next big step. So I've noticed for myself, I've really stepped back from a lot of activity that I normally do. And it starts here with this newsletter. Um, I needed a break to think about what was going on. And I think it's just as simple as that. There's no big, huge thing going on. It's just I needed to take time to see, okay, what is my next step? Often when we learn a lot in a short period of time, which is what I did, it was 3 months of every week business coaching with my coach and learning new ways to build my business. I was growing and I was learning, and when it came down and it was all settled, I didn't know how to create anymore for a minute. I would sit in front of my computer. Has anybody ever felt this way? And just like, okay, what do I do now? I mean, I've got like this list here, and I had a plan, and then I went, hey, I need to take a break. I need to step back and really acknowledge how much I've learned. And that's all that happened. And so I created a space. I just naturally did it. I didn't really think about it. But while I was there, I kept beating myself up, going, geez, I should be doing something. There's all of these things out there as a self-employed business owner that I should be doing. I should be, writing a blog every week, and here I am 2 weeks into a new month, and I haven't even created my newsletter. When I get to that place, I shut down. I can't create from there. I wonder if you can connect to that. If I hear other people's voices telling me what to do, it doesn't matter who, what, or where. You should be you. It's always with this finger in my face. I'm a rebellious type of person, and I don't do it. And that was what was going on internally for me. And then I realized that's not what's my problem. My problem really was I needed to give myself some time. And great. And I think they call that the ebb and flow. It's more of a female energy. We flow and then we ebb, just like the tides. And I think being busy just to be busy isn't really the kind of person and the kind of entrepreneur I am. So I have to live that way for myself. I'm offering this story for you to kind of reflect on how do you give yourself space after an exhausting 3 months or really a lot of activity in your life. Something to think about. And recognize that space is important for all of us, even if it's like a 5-minute breather. It's important. Now, after I've gotten through my space and I'm ready to clear the cobwebs and actually re-engage with the audience, I also stepped into some things that really had to be dealt with, and that was making boundaries. Oh, this is a hard one. I tend to want to do a lot of things, but I just don't have the time, and when I do too many things, I don't have the focus. So right now, I'm going through a period of boundaries and where I want to put my energy, because I won't be able to produce if I'm too thinly spread. So in the last weeks or so, I've started backing away from some projects, ongoing projects that I just couldn't put my heart into anymore. And that was a really hard step for me to take because I don't like to let people down or to break any commitments. But I am devoted to making my business a little more me, and I'm expanding in so many different ways. There's just no time for things that don't feel right anymore. So I'm working through the boundaries, and this seems to be a topic that's coming up all around me. Boundaries feel hard for most of us because it's a way of saying no. But what I've noticed is if we don't teach people how we want to be treated, then we will get mistreated. And there's a lot of thousands quotes that are better than that one that I just said. But we really have to teach people how to respect us. And it starts here with ourselves, respecting ourselves. And that means creating boundaries. What's okay and what's not okay. Now, I'm using my business as an example, but this can filter through every part of your life. And I offer to you to reflect on that. Where am I losing energy in my life? And where can I put a boundary on that so I can, well, maybe create more space or feel better and more in control of my time? We all have 24 hours a day. If you have children, you also have less of those 24 hours. And, we're always giving out our time to things. Really, it's a great practice to see where you can save time for yourself and where you can create boundaries with people in your life or with projects you're doing. So these are two things that I'm going and working through, space and boundaries. And a part of that is what's new in my business. So because I've been working and creating on so many things, I'm excited to talk about them. So whether you're in the local area or not, I do want to tell you about some local stuff I'm doing. So this summer, with a team of 6 other women, we came together to bring a local networking group called Women's Empowerment Club. And last month we launched our first official public meeting, and it was a great success. I met new women in the area I didn't even know. So that said to me that there was a huge need for something local. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm also excited that it's on a team level because then it's not one woman doing all the work, it's a bunch of us. And I really love this team. We're becoming so connected, and I can see how co-creation really works. There is, just so much love and excitement, and things are getting done in a beautiful way. So I'm going to put that link on this newsletter. If you're in the area, please consider joining us. And we do have a meeting next Thursday morning, so I'll also put that in the newsletter too. That's one project that I felt passionate about. It's for my business, and it's a way for me to connect locally to the community. But another project that went off really well that I worked on was my Love Yourself Confident workshop. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys, workshops, I didn't think I could do. I had such a great time. My biggest concern is I'm a one-to-one coach. I do a lot of, other than my videos. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to hold the space for such a big group of women, but we did it together. They knew it was my first, and what a wonderful night we had. It was just a 2-hour event, but I think we could have gone forever. The energy and the excitement, I want to say I appreciate all of you who were there and who totally participated. You had no idea what I was going to spring on you, and everybody just gave it 100%. I did have a second workshop in mind for this month. However, I didn't get enough attendance, so I decided yesterday to just cancel it. I'm not upset about it in any way. I think that it was too close together, and I will consider doing another live event next year. For me, in my business, as much as I enjoyed the workshop, I can recognize that it takes a lot more energy, and I'm kind of not sure that's really the way I want to go. So I'm going to try again and see what happens. happens. But for me, I do love connecting with people this way and the one-on-one sessions for now. But please stay tuned. I will try another one in 2017. I can't get through this video without talking about last week's election results. I wrote a blog after not writing for a really long time called America the Beautiful, Thoughts on This Election Day. And I'll link that here too if you're interested. And I want to say it's it's a nonpartisan topic that I say in this post. I voted for Hillary. I don't mind saying that. And I don't mind telling you that I find the results really surprising. I did not expect this outcome. And maybe you're not a supporter of hers, and I can appreciate that. And maybe you were and feel a little like I did. I felt very sad about it, and I've also felt very angry. And then I felt, well, I don't understand something about my country. I live here in the Netherlands, so I'm a little cut off from them. But I am an American, and I was raised by a very patriotic man who said, you have the right to vote, you should always vote. And one thing that came out of this election that I think is really the most surprising, beyond all of the other normal, obvious things, is that a lot of people didn't vote, and if they did vote, they didn't vote for the presidential slot, for lack of a better word. They voted on all of their other things except for. And to me, that felt really wrong. And that said to me that, you know, there's more going on than I really understand. So I take a step back from all of that because I don't really need this to be the center of our newsletter. What I really wanted to highlight was where I've come on that. I recognize that more than ever, and I knew about it before, but now I know more. We have a lot of people afraid. Just a lot. And in that post that I did last week, I already started talking about fear, because if you followed anything in the election, which I will admit I did not a lot because it was pretty brutal, people are saying I'm voting for him because I don't want her, and I'm voting for her because I don't want him. And it felt like, to me, we aren't being represented in the political game. That's really what I feel. I'm reading more stuff, and I'm trying to catch up to what it is that would, you know, end with this result. So I wanted to say that a lot of people are going through that, and they're trying to figure out how to make sense of this. And I follow this wonderful group called Emerging Women. And this blog post that this woman wrote touched me so deeply, I wanted to share it with you. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I want to read a part of it that really rang my bell. So she talks about, obviously, the events of last week. And she quotes some pretty big people in here. And I'm getting to it in a second. So here's the part I would like to read to you. This is a call for citizenship, to live a life of active participation, to place solidly at the center of our focus, not just how can I make my life better, but how can making my life better be relevant to making the world a better place? Or in other words, how can I use my privilege to serve? I'm getting goosebumps just saying that. It is a time to start helping people find their life purpose, and I just happen to be in the business of doing it. I know many of you out there are doing similar work. I'm heading in this direction. I want to live a life of active participation. And what I've recognized in the last 20 years is that I really shut off my political voice. And I stopped paying attention because even though I voted, I knew somewhere inside me that I didn't feel represented. And I have to say, I do love Hillary, and I wish she would have made it into the office for a lot more reasons than her just being a woman. But if I really sit with what's going on, the truth is the people aren't being represented. So, and what is that about? And I don't know. I don't. I know what I need to do going forward, and I know how I want to serve. And that is by helping people come to a place of understanding that they are a part of making this world a better place, of real change, and in participating in a collaborative way for making it about love and not fear. So you're going to see more in that direction, and I'm also going to link that blog because there's so much other stuff in there that I could read this whole thing to be my whole newsletter, but this is somebody else's words. And I think what she is offering here for us women is a chance to really step into who we really want to be, and I am in complete alignment with that. So that is November's love note. Welcome new members, and I will see you in December, and look forward to more stuff from me in the coming weeks. Have a great month, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.